Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning pre-market analysis and trade plan setup for June the 16th, 2014. It is a wonderful Monday after Father's Day. Hope everybody had a wonderful Father's Day. Anyway, my name is Doug McKay, and I am the head moderator and founder of Quantum Leap. I have a welcome message, but it doesn't want to show up on my computer screen, so Quantum Leap is a self-organized learning environment. We've been around for coming up on 5 years now. We have a private Skype room. If you want to come in and check it out, you can do that. Send me a Skype request. I would have my welcome message showing it to you, but it's Doug_McKay. That's MCKAY, and I'll be the one from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Of course, each morning we come together to this live go-to and go through my daily analysis and my pre-trade routine. It is a routine. We start from the macro to the micro, looking at the key numbers and the trends and the various time frames before we get into some more in-depth chart analysis and then set up our trade levels and targets for the days and look at my hypotheses. If you're watching this on YouTube, you might want to skip ahead a little bit, but we can't skip anything because we are getting ready to trade, so we have to stick to our normal routine. Before I do anything, I've got to get the legals out of the way, so let's do that. This information is for the purpose of educating members who want to expand the knowledge of the business of trading. It's not for trading or investment advice. You and only you are responsible for the trades or investment decisions you make. Trading futures or any instrument involves risk or loss. Please consider carefully whether futures or options are appropriate to your financial situation. Only risk capital should be used when trading futures or options. Investors can lose more than initial investment. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Any trades at sea and Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own trade plan. Do your own due diligence. Got it. Okay, so let's jump right over to the key numbers and take a look at them. Of course, we have two key numbers right now. We have the 1947.50, which is our all-time high adjusted to the September contract, and we have the all-time high in the June contract at 1954.75. There's still a lot of stuff to do up here, gang, so I would not think that the low is completely in yet. Might be, might not be, but we have unequalized highs. So that 47.50 and 54.75 is generally not left alone. They will retest and adjust the September high to the June high. That's usually what happens, so good probability. Of course, our month low is down at 1921.25, and we're trading and threatening that. Our month high is our all-time high, and then we have a month low down at 1913.75, and that's just on the other side of balance around that 16 that I'm going to show you in just a couple minutes. All right, going to the intraday numbers. We have a Globex open on Friday at 1923.50. We had a high at 26.75 and a low at 19, and then we opened auction in range at 25.50. We had normal variation, broke the IV to one side. Our opening swing high, 26, our opening swing low, 22.25 for a 3 3/4 point opening swing, and we did have a rotational day on Friday as expected. Our initial balance high, you can see, is starting to trend down at 27 for the high, 19.50 for the low, and that is a 7.5 point initial balance back into normal ranges. Our intraday numbers. We had a 12:30 number at 25.75, a high at 29.75, a low at 19.50, and a close at 28.25 with our VPOC shifting up to 27.50. Excuse me one second. In terms of the 20-day ATRs, you can see that they continue to coil and get ready for a bigger move. I don't think the big move is done yet. You can't get this much coiling until you really explode out of it. So our 20-day ATR for the RTH is just over 10. Our full session ATR is 12 1/4, and a Globex at just over 6.5. Our value area high was a little bit lower at 1929, and our value area low was higher at 1924.50 for a 4.5 point. And then we did a make and break, and you can see we're starting to get back into the normal make and break inside that first 15-minute pocket of the IB study. And then we're back to normal volume at 1.2 in the RTH, 1.5 in the full session. Going over to the daily report, so far our high 1928.25, our low 1919, so our full session 20-day ATR targets to the upside 1931.25, to the low side 1916. Keep an eye on the 1650 area. It's going to be important today, and we'll get into that a little bit more when we get into the charts. Looking at the news, we had Empire State Manufacturing at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. We have TIC long-term purchases at 8 Central, 9 Eastern. Industrial production at 8:15 Central, 9:15 Eastern with capacity utilization. And then we have NAHB Housing Market Index at 9 Central, 10 Eastern. Keep a tight eye on the market this morning going into the RTH session. Let's take a look. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Let's take a look at the COT report. See what happened with the report on Friday. Nothing changes. You can see that this is your zero line right here. Large commercials and large spec are net negative, and the small spec retail are net positive, and we're getting a blow off top. We're still being left as the bag holders right now. All right, let's take a look at the trends, macro to the micro. Trend in the monthly, very strong, way up there. Got good separation, good slope on the 9 EMA and the 20 SMA. Price is paralleling. Got a little bit of a technical gap, but we are trading in the upper distribution of the prior month, so the trend is very much intact on the monthly. On the weekly, you can see we were talking about this technical gap all last week. We're getting a little bit of weakness coming in. Looks like we're consolidating, likely to close this tech gap on the weekly in around that 1906 area. And we'll talk about that because that's an important number. On the weekly, we have broken and closed that technical gap on the daily, coming down, and we are below the 9 EMA, came down, tested the 20 SMA, and we are in a bit of a MA squeeze going on right now, with us trading in between the 9 and the 20. This is going to be key levels here. So look at this 1925 and this 1931. Break above or below that, we're likely to pick our direction. Going over to our geometric chart, we have come down and tested the lower line of the smaller upward sloping fork. Remember, we still have the center line of the intermediate upward sloping fork down here at this 1905. I'm looking at the 1906 area. And then, of course, we've got the lower line of the long-term upward sloping fork all the way down here at this 1885, 1886 area. So the key is whether or not we hold the lower line of the intermediate or the short-term upward sloping fork in around this 1921.75. A break below that, look for them to come down and test the center line of the upward sloping fork of the intermediate fork. And that will be somewhere in around that 1906 area. Going over, let's take a look at the trends coming in intraday. You can see we've got a pretty strong trend going on the 4-hour. You can see we closed. We had a technical gap here. We had a technical gap here. Both of them are closed out, but we've not gotten above the 9 EMA yet. So the trend is down in the 4-hour coming into the RTH. Going over to the 30-minute. Bit of consolidation sideways. We are above the 9 and the 20, but really no trend in the 30-minute. Going down to the 15-minute, same thing. Got a little bit of a trend going on. Possible tech gap, Mr. Sneaky here. We have a naked cross at 19.23 and a quarter. Watch for this tech gap to get closed out and come down and test this naked cross here. On the 5-minute, bit of a trend starting here on the 5-minute. Technical gap, we're closing it by consolidating sideways, likely to close it in around that 19.24.50, but a bit of a trend coming in on the 5-minute going into the RTH. So let's take a look at the big picture. So we had this big consolidation in around what is adjusted down to 1858. It was 1865. It has been adjusted down to 1858. That is our microcomposite VPOC going back through to February 21st to the breakout day right here. And it is also our composite VPOC, or the most accepted price, or the most traded price going back to October the 9th, 2013. Then we break out, we come up and we consolidate in around this 1914, and then accept value, go up, make a new high up at 1947.50, adjusted all-time high, try to hold value in around 1939 and a quarter, can't hold value, come down, and currently we're trying to hold value in around this 1927.50. Key level is going to be this 1924.25 today, Gary. So let's take a look at what that looks like. I mean, you've got 24, then you've got the value area low where we're trying to hold inside of value at 1922.50, and then we've got that 1918.75 where they came down twice to pick up buyers. The key line below us is going to be this 1916.75. That is also right around our 20-day ATR target to the downside for the full session. This is an important line. Not so much in terms of whether or not it's going to mean the possibility of going up and making new all-time highs, but below that you've got a really strong move down to this 1450, but more likely we're going to get stuck down in this this distribution zone between 1675 and 6 1/4, and we've got a whole bunch of undetermined fair value at 1450, 1350, 1175, 1075, and 9 1/4. This is really ugly and needs to be repaired. So keep an eye on that. Actually, this just shifted too. It's not 24. It's 20. Not 24 1/4 anymore. It's 24. Let's take a look at what that looks like on our intraday chart. Bring up our Globex. All right, so far in the Globex, we have an overnight high up at 28 1/4. And we have an overnight high down, our low at 19, just below the range from Friday. And then our current Globex VPOC is 2350. Don't think it's going to change. All right, so we don't need this anymore. And this is my key line that I'd be trading off of this morning. It is going to be that 1924. It's 1924 on the composite. You've got an LVN at 24 1/4. And you've got the value area low at 2450. Right now we are inside of value, inside of range, in between here. Not a lot of business to be done. So trade off of the 24 1/4. Above, it's a slush zone like anything else. Above, you've got to be above the 2450, and below, you've got to be below 24. If we break below 24, look for a rotation down to test that 19 area, 1875 CHVN, overnight low. There's nothing down there. You've got a little bit of rejection here at 22, but it's a bit of a zipper line down here. You got 2275 as your value area low on the 2-day micro composite. So I would use this area right here at 22 to look for responsive buyers stepping in. If we break through that 24, look for a rotation down, test this 22 value area low. If we break that, we've got the range low and the overnight low down here at 19. And that 1875 is all right there, so this area is going to be a strong magnet below that 24 with possible support at 22, but I don't think you're going to get it. There's not much down here. I think they come all the way down and take out the overnight low and test this 1918. The key line in the sand today below that 24 is going to be the 1675. That's the other side of balance. In this this weak area of the composite and below that 1918. And if we get below that, I think you got a really nice trade down to this 1450. Come on, draw for me. There we go. With the other side of that balance being down at 1250, you've got the value area low in this 3-day micro composite down at 1175, but it's really, I'm watching this 12 to 1250, and then below that you are going to get stuck in this this distribution zone. And I'm not going to put all the targets in there, but again, you've got you know, the 13.25, 1150, 1075, and 08. But the big number that we need to hold in order to, you know, make a run for new highs is going to be down here at this 1906.25. Come on. And then below that, you've got 1904, 1902. And then, of course, you've got the centennial number at 1900. And below 1900, there's really nothing until we get down into this this 1889 area. So that's going to be a big move down. Just sell the shit out of it if it gets below 1900, because we've got a nice 10-point move all the way down into that 1890. Remember that 1890.25 was a key area that launched us, where we tried to hold this this right here. When we went up and made the 1891.25, okay, the prior, it's adjusted down to 1883, but you know, in the June contract it was 1890.50 or 1890.25, and that's going to be a big key area for us, and there's nothing between 1900 and this, so just sell the shit out of it. Just don't even think about it. Just sell, okay? Taking a little bit off of Kramer. Above 24, we're inside of value, we're inside of range. Look for a rotation back towards Friday's VPOC at 2750. It's also our microcomposite VPOC for the 2 days, so very strong move, rotation back up to take out the naked VPOC and the overnight high. Remember, 96% probability of taking out the overnight high or overnight low, inside of value, inside of range. I'd say take out the overnight high with the move to take out the VPOC and trade back to balance. Naked close is 1928.25 with your value area just above that at 1929. That's the other side of balance. You really can't do anything inside of here, so get long off of 24.75 into the 27. You know, you might have to do it before we even open. In fact, you know, you might even want to do it now, because inside of value, inside of range, is likely going to get a move up before we get a move down, at least coming up to this 26 level. Above the value area, you've got you know, the 29.75, but it's really this you know, range high that I'm watching here. That would be the very first target to try to break us out of range. And then above that, you might even want to take another long above that because there's really nothing up there until we get to 31.25. That's our first target above range and above value with 33, the other side of that balance. Look for responsive sellers to probably step in there as your first area above. But if we break above that, you've got the value area low from where we tried to hold value up in the 3-day microcomposite up at 36.75, and that's just above the naked VPOC and naked close that we've got. So this whole area right here, I'd front run it and go 35.75. Come on. And front run it, and the other side of that balance, 37.75. And really nothing all the way up until you get into this 39.25 and 40 area, 39.25 and 40 and 41.25 as the other side of that balance, and then you got naked close at 43. You've got 47.50 and 54.75 equalization. There's really nothing else to guide us there. Let's take a look at the Renko. Where is my Renko? There is my Renko. Okay, so taking a look at this, we are in the upper distribution of. Where'd you go? Come back. Not the TF, I want the ES. All right, so we are in the upper distribution, upper channel. We've really got no direction on the Keltner. Test of the center line will take us down to 22. There's our 22 trade level right there. If we hold a test to the upper Keltner, will take us up to take out the overnight high in this naked VPOC up at 28. Break below the Keltner center line, there's that 16.25, 16.50 area again. That's 16 just sticking out like a sore thumb right now. Let's take a look at the Russell. Russell. Okay, so on the Russell, we are currently trading inside of value, inside of range. We have our value area low at 54.50. Our overnight high is 56.90. Just below the naked VPOC, we've got a P-shaped profile on the Russell. We've got a lot of repair below. Key line is going to be this 54.50. If we break outside of value, look for rotation down. You've got a key level here at 53.50 right here. Below 53.50, you're breaking outside of value of the microcomposite and outside of value from yesterday. If we break this 53.50, look for a move down, and really what I'm looking at is this 51.50. There's really not much holding us above that. Below 51.50, you've got 50.50, but I'm really looking at this 49.25 overnight low and a retest of the range low at 47.20. And then below that, you've got 46.50. It's kind of a tight target, but it's right there, and you can get in and get funded before then. And then below that, you've got this triple distribution, 44, 60, and 43. So 46, what did I say it was? 44.60. Come on, draw it. 44.60, and what did I say? 43.50. 1150. And really nothing below that until we get all the way down to there's that 37 again. So we've got 37, and that's where you'd be looking for responsive buyers to step in here and try to hold us up. Below that, you've got this 32, 33 area. I'll put it at 33. And then 30, 60. And 2670. And below 2670, this is a very big line right here because that puts us inside of value of the microcomposite, and really that 1120, 1121, remember that was the composite VPOC before we adjusted to the new contract down at 1640. So I'd be looking at that 1121. It's actually 1120. 1121 was the prior unadjusted composite VPOC, and then now you've got 1640 as the adjusted. And I would say same thing with the Russell. If we get below this 2670, sell, 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 get short into this 111640. It's going to be a really nice trade up there, or down there, I should say. Now, if we hold inside of value and above this 1154, look for a rotation up to take out the overnight high, test the value area high, 80% rule, kick in at 1158.75. We've got naked close at 1157.50, and then above that, look for them to rotate back up to the microcomposite VPOC and the range high from Friday at 1159.10. And then if we break out a value at a 50, or break out a range at 59.90, then you've got 61 above us, and really not much to hold us inside until we get all the way up to 66. So if we break outside of value, outside of range, I'm looking for a strong move up towards that 65, and that would be the first target that I would be looking at, is that 1165.20. And then you've got 66.70, 67.40, and 69.70. I mean, there's a lot up here, and that's why I'm thinking if we break out of range and out of value, you're going to get a really strong move up. Taking a look at gold, how great was that gold play? Thursday, the one thing I said, if we broke above this 1266 to get long, it was a beautiful $1,000 trade on a one lot to get long above that 66 for the move to up to test the 75, 76 level, and we came up and nearly got all the way up to that 1285.60, and since then we've rejected. Currently we're trading right at the CLVN below 77.50. I'd be looking for a rotation back to down to this 1275.30. Really nothing else down below us until you get all the way back down to 1266, and that will create our gap close. Our gap close is 1267.40. So a bit of repair that needs to be done here. Let me just put a profile. I want to see where the two-day. So value is still down here at 1274. So if we can't hold 1277, likely get a rotation down to this 1274, maybe even down to the 1272.20, the range low from the two-day microcomposite. If we stay above this 1277, look for them to rotate up to 81.70 and test this 85.10. And if they get above the 85.10, then I'd be looking for a test of this value area low here at 1287.60 with 1289 just above it. And of course, we're still looking for this move up to this 1293. I think if we can hold above this 1266, we are going to see 1293. So everything above 1266 has got to be long-term to the upside towards 93. Take your shorts, but use them as scalps and keep your targets tight. Below 1266, then I think we get a rotation back towards this 1253 area. This is the double distribution of the microcomposite here with the key line between the double distribution at 1250.90, below 1250.90. Then you got a nice short into this 1244, 1241 area again. So that's what I'm looking at. That is going to complete our morning homework session and trade plan setup. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.